When a society loses its ultimate moral authority, the system eventually begins to consume itself in the name of restoring order. This Bible reading sharing examines chapter 21 of the book of Judges. This ancient text recorded here provides a stark blueprint for understanding the mechanics of social and moral breakdown. The chapter opens in the immediate aftermath of a devastating civil war. The Israelite coalition has emerged victorious against one of their own, but the nation remains fractured by the recent violence. This chart illustrates the scale of the resulting demographic crisis. While 11 tribes retain their populations, the tribe of Benjamin has been nearly eradicated. Only 600 men remain, pushing an entire branch of the nation toward extinction. Beyond the physical destruction of the war, a vacuum of leadership emerges. The surviving tribes realize a foundational piece of their identity is about to disappear forever, and they have no clear mechanism to stop it. They face an unyielding religious roadblock. Before the war ended, the victorious Israelites swore a binding oath to God. They would never allow their daughters to marry the men of Benjamin. This creates systemic paralysis. The national leaders are trapped between honoring a rigid legal vow and watching one of their original 12 tribes biologically vanish. Without a central king or a unifying moral arbiter, there is no authority figure capable of pardoning the oath or mediating a legitimate compromise. When an institution lacks a true moral compass, its leaders often pivot to dangerous, pragmatic workarounds just to patch the very bureaucratic disasters they created. To fix their demographic problem, the elders search for a loophole. They scan the nation for any group that failed to attend the original wartime assembly, and therefore never personally swore the marriage ban. They find their target on the map, the isolated city of Jabesh-Gilead. Because of its distance, the residents of this region were not present when the oath was taken. The government's solution is clinical. The Israelite assembly deploys an army to slaughter the city's inhabitants, specifically sparing only 400 virgin women to be extracted and given to the Benjaminites. The leaders never frame this massacre as a crime. In their minds, it is a necessary administrative procedure required to save the nation's structural integrity. This is the hallmark of systemic injustice. An ungoverned authority will often punish innocent people as collateral damage, provided it mathematically resolves a past failure of leadership. Even after the violence at Jabesh-Gilead, the math still fails. The elders remain 200 women short of providing a wife for every surviving Benjaminite. They devise a second scheme centering on an upcoming religious festival in the city of Shiloh, grounded here in these ancient stone foundations. The elders instruct the remaining 200 Benjaminite men to hide in the vineyards around Shiloh. When the young women come out to dance for the festival, the men are told to ambush the celebration and kidnap a wife. Looking at this legal flowchart, we see the elders' logic. The original oath stated they could not give their daughters away. By ensuring the women are forcibly stolen, the fathers technically bypass the wording of the vow. This rationalization demonstrates the exact moment a society's morality is replaced by pure legal compliance. Institutional corruption is visible in the way authorities use clever legal definitions to sponsor kidnapping and violence, actively framing the abuse as practical problem-solving. The immediate crisis is technically solved. The tribe of Benjamin survives and will rebuild its population, but the moral soul of the Israelite nation has collapsed. This brings us to the final verse of the book of Judges, which anchors this entire study. In those days, Israel had no king. Everyone did as they saw fit. The phrase "no king" describes the disillusion of objective, unifying truth. Without a shared moral center, the rule of law is replaced by individual or tribal preference. The most terrifying actions in an ungoverned society are rarely born from cartoonish malice. They stem from a desperate, unchecked desire by the authorities to do what seems right in their own eyes. The patterns of ancient Israel find echoes in the modern geopolitical landscape. When international frameworks lack a central moral authority or the power to enforce it, sovereign states often revert to the same survivalist logic seen in the book of Judges. Like the Israelite elders, modern nations often prioritize pragmatic loopholes. redefining boundaries or using technicalities to justify the displacement of populations and the use of unprovoked force. Whether thousands of years ago or today, human nature without a governing moral heart will always rationalize its own